Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Lazarus here, and we finally hit 99. Did that yesterday at about 4 a.m. After 2 weeks of straight grinding. I finally got to catch up on some sleep, so I'm well rested. A little under the weather, which is probably related to not sleeping and eating terribly over the last 2 weeks, but I'll get over it. Anyways, I thought it'd be cool to make a video and kind of recap my grind at 99 since I didn't stream or do anything like that. But yeah, just go over the process. And I also wanted to give a really big shout out to the hardcore community. You guys were awesome, and everybody that participated in the runs, especially those of you that went out of your way to put a lot of time and effort in helping me cross that finish line. You guys made it a really enjoyable experience. So thanks for being a part of the run. Again, everybody that was participating in those public games. You definitely made the run to 99 at the very least viable. Without maxing out players 8 games, consistently, it wouldn't have really been a thing. At least we wouldn't have been competitive with it. So super cool that I got to do that. As I didn't really have a group or anybody that I could play with. So it surpassed my expectations for what we were going to be doing this ladder, because originally it was just do a playthrough. I thought hardcore would be a little bit more fun. I had no intention of going to 99. I've never done it before, not just on a hardcore, but altogether. Been playing this game for 20 years, and 95, 96, that's about where I cap out. So super rewarding and cool to finally hit 99, and to get to do it with just so many different people joining in on the games, and helping make runs efficient, and making it possible to get experience so that we could not only hit 99 but do it in good time was really cool. So again, thanks to all of you, and you guys deserve a lot of credit for the run. But yeah, we can go over the process. The gear I was using for the majority of the playthrough, as well as the drops and what we encountered. Um, and again, the process, we did finish in at 7th, which is cool. 7's my favorite number. It's a lot better than I was expecting. At like 91, 92, I really started to go hard on the grinding, as I saw that I was well up on the ranks, and that there was a possibility, like I wasn't too far away from being, with the top of the pack. I did have a lot of catching up to do. It took me 6 hours to get to Hell, and like Hell Act 1, and I was doing pit and Countess runs, just trying to get some gear so I could finish out Hell. And then I beat Bail on Hell at like level 80, and then started doing T-zones. And around 88, 89, towards 90, I opened up the public runs and I started doing those consistently. But yeah, we 7th. It's more than I was anticipating. I was actually just hoping to try and get front page, but I think with the DDoS event, some high profile names got taken out, and I think it would have been a lot more competitive of a front page if those characters were still in play. A few others that were above us died in the last couple of days of the run, which gave us a few extra positions. I think we were fortunate. We were doing Travancore runs when the DOS happened, or the DDoS, and we were at the waypoint. So 5 seconds later, 5 seconds earlier, and maybe 10 seconds earlier, we would have been at the council, and probably would have died. So super fortunate. We just got lucky there, is all that it was. And shame that anybody else who was affected by that. It really sucks to die out of your control. But hardcore, even multiplayer, server instability issues, it's, I think, all kind of part of the process, and something that you kind of accept going into it. So fortunate for us, we didn't kick the dust there. But yep, 7th, I'm super happy and stoked with that, and really cool to get the name up there, and for the first time 99. So super awesome. Let's go in a game. I can showcase some of the gear. Move the camera there, I think, so that you can see the items. So nothing crazy at the start. Up until about 90, I was using a Spirit sword. I got this Hoto maybe like 91, 92. Not a crazy roll or anything like that. As you can see, resistances were capped at 90, and we were still well above that, even with like lower res or conviction, we still had really, really good resistances. So it wasn't super important to have a good Hoto there. I didn't really care about the resistance. So the cheaper the better. It was really just about the cast rate, the skills. The Oak Sage was super helpful as well early on. That I actually had a Nature's Piece before the Hoto for a while, so I pretty much always had an Oak Sage, and I was good about keeping it up. So um, I think that kept us alive in a few instances that we might have otherwise died. But as well as what kept us alive, the GA, this is kind of the armor that I was thinking I would end the run with from the very beginning. I was like, GA, that's got to be the armor for hardcore. 90 all res. We're just never going to get unexpectedly blown up by elemental damage. So um, I think a really good choice. I've got a negative 15 requirement lightning res jewel in it, just so I didn't have to put another 30 points into strength. But we used this pretty much the whole time. Before it, again, up until around level 90-ish, I was sharing a treachery with a merc. So once I would proc fade, I would put on a stealth, and I was just trading those armors back and forth between the mercs. So super budget and little jank and manual, but it kept us alive and it did the job, at least till we could get the GA. And I think that this was a solid armor. I didn't think that I would get enough wealth to get Enigma through the run to 99, but even if, which in hindsight I did, and I probably could have had one, I decided not to go with it. Some of those nights being up 24 hours straight, I was so tired that I wasn't focusing or really paying attention, and I think teleport would have been a really dangerous skill to have. So yeah, I would not have been responsible with it at all, and probably would have got myself killed. So GA saving us in more ways than just resistances. Rockstopper, I got this off Nightmare Duriel on the playthrough. I had a Dex Jewel in it so that I could wear Hoto, because I didn't have 35 Dex. I wasn't trying to do max block or anything like that. But then I swapped it out with this random cold fast that I thought it'd be cool when I leveled up, the little Frost Nova, just to let everybody know, we hit the next level up. Didn't think about it till I was 98, so I only got to use it once, but it's still kind of cool idea. Maybe put it in there a little earlier next time. Pretty decent amulet. If it had FCR, it'd be like really good and nice. Didn't find anything really better, but it did the job. 35 FCR Spirit, decent base, nothing too crazy. A couple pairs of alders dropped. 46 fire res was the best that I got. Raven Frost, I got this way late in 98. Probably in hindsight should have had Cannot Be Frozen a lot earlier, since I was running and charging everywhere. Didn't really realize until I had the Raven just how much better it was that I was never cold. So yeah, in hindsight, definitely get something like that a little earlier. Spider, I found that in Stony Field off of a white mob around maybe like level 93 or something like that. So pretty cool. Once I got that, I knew that we could run a 125 FCR build pretty easily. So cool to get that in pretty decent time. This ring that I crafted, just again for the 125 FCR, decent. It's got life, nothing really else all that great. And then Mage Fist, again for the FCR. Just random Geeds for the inventory, nothing too crazy. My favorite of the inventory is this 21 life, 14 all res GC, probably the best charm that I found. Super cool, nice find. Everything else is just a random assortment of life and resistance charms, nothing too crazy. The 17 life, all res 3 was pretty cool, a little bit better of a roll. 4 to all res at the very least would make this really, really good, but still cool, nice find. And then an Annie, I didn't think D-Clone would spawn before I hit 99, but just in case I was carrying Smiter gear with me so that I could respec and take him out if I needed to. I went over to EU when he walked in. I missed it by like 2 minutes, so I ended up overpaying for this Annie. It's about the only part of this build that wasn't self-found. I would just, as much as of a disadvantage as I was without Enigma, I wasn't going to be even further disadvantaged by not having an Annie. And even if I did kill D-Clone and I didn't get a 10%, I probably would have sold it and swapped it out and got this Annie, to make sure I had 10%. Because anything to shorten the time to 99 from an experience standpoint, I was gonna do it. So that was a must-have. And then on the Switch, just a standard 3BO. Didn't get this till like 92 before I was using a tele staff, which I should have kept like a teleport charging Ami for some of those zones that really sucked to not have teleport for. But yeah, we had 3BO, CTA, nothing too crazy, and a Spirit Shield. I didn't have any kind of barb loader, so anytime there wasn't a barb to BO, the CTA came in handy. And that was the gear. That was pretty much what we used for the entirety of the run. Nothing else too notable about that. The public runs, we hit 99 on run 3068. Not a perfect number by any means. I had to skip over a few. I did try to compensate for any runs that we did skip over as far as the numbers go, and pulled it back. So it's pretty accurate, but not 100%. Definitely over 3,000 games from about 90 to 99, and 95% or more of those games were players A. We kept them filled. In those runs, we found 2 Vex, 2 Ohm, 1 Low, 0 Sir, 2 Bear, 3 Jaw, 1 Cham, and 0 Zod runes. So I ended up getting 1 Vex, 1 Ohm. I didn't get the Low. I didn't get either Bear runes. I got 1 of the 3 Jaw, and then 1 Cham rune. And it was pretty funny. The like first week, when I was still really into it, and having a lot of fun, just awake and alert, I was getting a lot of the drops. It was the second week that I was like, I had Jaw rune drop on me, twice, and just didn't react. Like super slow reaction time. I just wasn't paying attention to drops. So definitely was letting a lot of things go in the second half there. But good to see that it was a pretty even distribution. A lot of people got some good stuff out of the run, so that's fun. Nice to see everybody get some GG. As far as the uniques go, definitely, again, it was consistent with what a lot of others are saying. The uniques were off in the terror zones. Sunder Charms were super common. They were actually just starting to make me mad how often they would drop. I was tired of looking at them. I stopped picking them up at like 93 because I had already had a perfect cold, light, and fire, and I was, selling those, and then they didn't really have a whole lot of value not too long into it because, again, they were just so common. They were also, for the most part, pretty useless without even further endgame gear. Really the only one being super good early on was the cold one, so kind of annoying to see so many of those drop and not hardly any uniques. But of the uniques that were notable that did drop, 2 Arachnid Meshes, 3 Shakos, 1 COA, which was unfortunately a near anti-perfect roll. I didn't get that one, so which is good because I would have been mad if I did with how bad it rolled. 2 Ormus Robes, 4 Faucets. I got 3 of those 4, a 5/5 light, 4/4 fire, and a 3/3 light. 2 Maras, 1 was a 28/8 res, so pretty good there. 1 Soji, a 45 life elemental GC, which was a godly find, and a 43 life cold GC, which my brother actually found and sold for about the value of a Jaw rune at the time. Probably could have maybe got a little bit more for it, but still super godly find. And then 2 Tal Armors dropped. So as far as the runes go, it was pretty much what I would expect from that many runs of Players 8. Towards the end, we weren't full clearing areas. We were just focusing on the specials. So I think we got pretty lucky with runes. I think high runes were definitely dropping for us in our runs. But the uniques, those were off, and a lot of the ones that you would expect to see dropping a little bit more consistently just never dropped. A lot of things I didn't even find, like simple things like String of Years. I completely forgot about that belt, which would have been cool to have. If I would have found one of those, I probably would have got another 10 FCR ring and a 10 FCR amulet, so I could just have another up to 15% DR, because I was really nervous about physical damage. Might archers with amp, still did a lot, and there were a few close calls that, had I not been paying attention or didn't react very quickly, I could have died, just because I only had 10% DR. But yeah, that was a drop. So overall, I think it was pretty good. I would recommend, though, probably just farm a level 85 area, not a T-zone, if you want uniques. If you're not interested in experience, that's probably the way to go, because something's funky with those. Maybe they'll fix it. I don't know. As far as the T-zones go, my favorite kind of unexpected, what was good that I didn't think would be good, Cold Plains was awesome. Super open, easy to navigate. A lot of special monsters that you could run into really quick, and then you had experience shrines that you could go into the cave with, and then did a lot more specials in there. Good experience, and just an easy area to run. The probably one of the better experience zones that I didn't like. Pretty much any area with walls and doors, things that were blocking me were super annoying. Catacombs was probably one of the most infuriating spots. I almost didn't even want to do it, but the experience was too good to not be in the catacombs. I think like the other zones that were terrible were like the Ariat Plateau, or the Frigid Highlands. Get stuck by a door, and on Players 8, level 96 door, those things were so tanky. It took like 10 8K hammers to get through it, so everybody's just like teleporting through it. I'm sitting here trying to beat a door down so that I could catch up with everybody. It was so frustrating. But yeah, we got through it without the Enigma, and again, like I said, I think we did it in pretty good time. So and the T-zones, for the most part, were a lot of fun. I didn't like the randomness of it. I was sleeping maybe 4 to 6 hours, but I was waking myself up like every hour so that I could see what T-zone it was, because I really didn't want to miss the really, really good ones and be at a disadvantage. But then it was also sometimes nice to get like Karas Sewers, where you knew that nobody else was farming and getting experience, so you could take a break, get some food, or take a nap, which that's pretty much what Karas Sewers was. It was nap time. But yeah, super cool, fun experience. Just some names to throw out: Laggy, the Necro, #1 Necro. He was having his own little race with #2 there. #2 Ripped. That was all him. Putting that pressure on there. You could tell they were dicing up there trying to win, and it looks like Laggy takes it. Not quite 99 yet, so good luck to you on the rest of your climb, and hopefully you make it. So keep pushing. JoseConShako, Audioslave, InvictaSPQR. Rest in peace to Invicta, level 96 Javazon got PK'd. Guy came in hostile to the group. I guess he didn't notice and ended up getting PK'd. Unfortunate way to go, but it's part of the game. And sorry your run got ended like that, but thanks for being a part of the runs and sticking around with so many of them. Bepppp with a lot of P's. Sayless / Cryaboutit. PhoTwenty and Garm. You guys were in a lot of the runs, just helping out, a lot of DPS and keeping them running smooth and efficiently, and you guys were a lot of fun to play with. So, it was just nice to see so many people with a good attitude, just in general, and that was a lot of fun. I don't know, obviously on Players 1, I never would have been able to hit 99, at least anytime this millennium. So, cool that so many just positive players could be a part of the runs, and then those that really kind of went out of their way to again put a lot of effort and focus on helping me get to 99. AK RoggaDinn and Ticksatsi. Hopefully I said your name right, dude. You guys were a super big help, and thanks for being a part of the runs and kind of pushing me forward. I was a little jealous that all of you had Enigma. I felt left out of the crew, but thanks for not making fun of me too much for my budget gear. And then last but not least, I met this guy at the beginning of the runs for the most part. He probably played 70-75% of my runs with me, if not even more. That's Diana, or Oof. He had two characters, Oof the Sorceress, Diana the Javazon. You were a lot of fun to play with, and I appreciate all of the time and help that you had for the run. Pointing out those shrines. I just love the way that you spam shrine to me, because I was so blind. It's a shrine right in front of me, and I just wouldn't even touch it. I was so delirious at points. So, just good looking out overall, and I'm glad that you could be a part of so many of those runs, and you made it a lot of fun. So, again, thanks for being around for all of that, and for everybody and anybody I didn't mention that it was just part of it. You guys, again, were awesome. It was a fun community. I couldn't really ask for more for getting to do so many public runs. So And I definitely plan to play hardcore next season. I just don't know if I'll do another grind at 99 because it was still very painful. Despite not being thousands of bail runs, it was charging around all over the place. That was tough. Maybe I do it with Enigma next time and just like, you know, go with the better gear, get a torch, everything like that. I don't know. But for anybody still on their runs to 99, still grinding out, good luck to all of you. Stay safe and stay alive. Just make sure you finish. But other than that, thanks a lot, everybody. And if there's anything I didn't cover in my process that you're curious about, just let me know and I'll get back to it. But yeah, thanks and take it easy, guys.